good morning, everybody. I'm Rob Evans. Welcome to Daybreak Plus. We're breaking down all the news you may have missed overnight and digging deep into what matters to you. And nothing matters more than the safety of the people we love, especially the kids, right? And in Williamson County, there's something we've got to talk about. This is serious. Police are investigating 3 separate reports of alleged child abduction attempts. 3 of them. One of them was in Hutto. One of them was in Round Rock, and one of them was in Leander. Let's start on Friday. Hutto police posted about an alleged abduction attempt in the Riverwalk subdivision. You see right here where it's at, right near Chris Kelly Boulevard and I-130 rather. Police posted about it, but a spokesperson declined to give us details about what happened that day. Police say 2 men in a white van, though, did try to pull a child into the vehicle. Now, the Round Rock Police Department also investigating a reported abduction attempt on Mesa Park Drive last Tuesday. In that incident, police said 2 men wearing masks tried to lure kids into a van and offer them candy. You see right here where this happened. This is a 183 and a Crystal Falls Parkway, just southeast of that intersection right there. Police say 1 child intervened. The other kid ran off. The 2 suspects fled. And then on Friday night, this was in Leander. This is the map you're seeing here, actually. Police told us about a reported attempt at Artisan Springs Crossing. That is where you see right there on 183 and Crystal Falls Parkway. But investigators say a man in a light-colored vehicle drove up next to a young girl and yelled at her to get in his car. She, though, did the right thing. She ran away, and that car sped off. Now, Belinda Flores is a mom who lives nearby, and she's using these incidents to teach her kids about talking to strangers. Take a listen.
I ask my son all the time because he's very friendly, and I tell him, do not ever talk to anybody. I don't care who they are. If they say they know me, you turn around and run, and you scream.
Good advice right there. Police recommend to teach kids if someone tries to grab them, tell them to yell, to scream, bite, kick, do whatever you can, claw, gouge the eyes, whatever it takes. Create attention to yourself so someone can come and help. Again, this is very, very important. Please talk to your kids about this. Stranger danger is a real thing. Well, the Supreme Court says a man mistakenly deported to El Salvador should be brought back to the U.S., but the Trump administration says nothing can be done to facilitate, that's the word, his return. As ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports, President Trump is discussing sending American citizens to prisons in El Salvador.
This morning, the legal standoff over the future of a Maryland immigrant mistakenly deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador is escalating. El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, at the White House yesterday refused to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia to the United States.
How can I return him to the United States? Like I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it.
The Trump administration insists Abrego Garcia is a member of the violent MS-13 gang who entered the U.S. illegally. But the Supreme Court last week ruled his removal from the U.S. was illegal and ordered the administration to facilitate his return. The issue now? The administration argues the court cannot force the president to negotiate with a foreign government.
That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him. That's not up to us.
Abrego Garcia's lawyer insists the U.S. government does have the ability to bring his client home.
What we're asking is exactly what the Supreme Court told them. Let's facilitate his return. And we do this all the time. We're asking them to follow the law.
While Abrego Garcia's case remains in limbo, the Trump administration is sending more migrants to that prison. And now Trump is suggesting American-born criminals could follow, which would test U.S. law.
We also have homegrown criminals that are absolute monsters. I'd like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country, but you'll have to be looking at the laws on that.
Before reporters and cameras were allowed into the Oval Office, remember, the Salvadoran delegation was live streaming, and Trump can be heard on that live stream saying, quote, homegrowns are next. The homegrown, suggesting Bukele needs to build about 5 more prisons.
Under President Bukele, El Salvador declared an emergency in 2022, allowing for mass arrests with no due process. Since then, nearly 85,000 people have been imprisoned. Hundreds have reportedly died in custody. But the crime rate in El Salvador has plummeted, and Bukele's popularity has soared. Homicides have dropped from more than 2,000 in 2019 to just 114 last year. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
And 7:06 right now. Let's get a look at weather and traffic. Grace and Hannah both back on this Tuesday. Going to start with Grace. How's it looking outside?
Good morning, Rob. Thank you. We had a nice restful time, me and Hannah, but we are back at it this morning. Let's take a look outside. We're seeing some clouds overhead to start off our Tuesday out there. A live look over Lake Travis. You can see from our Oasis cam, 68 degrees. Certainly a warm start to the day out there. We are seeing a cold front move through our area, which is going to affect some things, but thankfully our temperatures are not going to be what's majorly affected for today, or at least this afternoon. We're going to have to wait a little while longer for that cold to kind of move in today, and we'll put some quotations around that cold. Not going to be too cold. So a warm start, 68 in Austin, 60 degrees out there in Mason. Much of the coastal plains also dealing in the 60s this morning. You can see that cold front if we bring up that relative humidity map, 40% in Llano, Burnet at 37%. So we are seeing some drier air start to move in for the day today. Now our cold front is well past Austin now, so we're just kind of seeing that drier air sink on in as we head out the door. We're also seeing some of those wind speeds and gusts start to pick up, especially out towards those northern edges of our viewing area. So Burnet to Georgetown, even Cedar Park got reports of winds picking up there. This hasn't really settled quite into Austin just yet, but we can expect the possibility of some gusts to be upwards of about 20 miles per hour, especially for that first half of the day here. And then things will kind of settle out as we head past 4 p.m. and towards dinner time. Our allergy count may be affected by our blustery winds this morning. So while they are in the medium category for all of our major allergens right now, they could kick up to the high category, especially for that oak as we head into this afternoon. Here's a look at temperatures across the board for today. Austin at 82 degrees, matching LaGrange out towards the coastal plains, Lockhart and San Marcos. Also some warmer spots on the map, but if you look at Burnet and Blanco, and over towards Fredericksburg, we've got a couple of areas that may stay in that 70-degree range. That would certainly be lovely for a kind of a middle of the day week here. Over the next 5 days, warmer temperatures are on tap, especially Thursday and Friday ahead of our next cold front. And thankfully, this cold front is bringing some rain chances to us. You can see Saturday, Sunday, and even shifting into next week, Monday has a 20% chance for scattered to maybe isolated thunderstorms again. Of course, Easter is this weekend. Thankfully, a 20% chance of isolated thunderstorms. That's not going to be washout conditions by any means. 85 for Saturday, 86 on Sunday with a little bit more cloud cover hanging around. I honestly think this is a pretty nice forecast. You don't want it to be 90 degrees and sunny. We were talking about the melting of the chocolate bunnies earlier today. So I think that looks like a pretty nice forecast all in all for your Easter weekend. 7-day rainfall totals. We'll probably get a little bit more rainfall out towards the hill country as we head through this next week here. San Marcos, the I-35 corridor, Austin expecting about a half an inch to maybe an inch and a little bit less the further east you go. So over the next 7 days, again, warmer and a little bit more humid to end out the week here. And then we'll start to see rain chances reaching back into the forecast Saturday and Sunday. And then also on Monday next week too. So hopefully we get some good rains in our region the next couple of days. Back to you, Hannah.
Not the melted chocolate bunnies. There really is nothing worse than that, especially in Texas. That can create a mess real fast. But looking forward to Easter weekend. The countdown is on for that. In the meantime, let's get you to work and school. Happy Tuesday, Central Texas. Another day in paradise here coming in from Buda. You can see a very slow crawl in the northbound lanes there. Also seeing some stop and go through Kyle as well. We are moving though, so that's something, just not very fast. And there's still no active crashes there either. And it's been a pretty quiet morning as far as crashes go. Hope that doesn't change in the next hour, but you can see those are the patches I'm talking about moving into the downtown area, and then all the different closures and construction that's been going on with that I-35 Capital Express Central project. Good morning, San Marcos. Good morning to my Bobcats. Looking quiet through your neck of the woods. Lockhart, I'm hungry for barbecue right now at 7:10 a.m. Looking good as well through 183 up through this South Austin terminal. Seeing some patches of stop and go moving from Bastrop drop into Del Valley. And then I do want to bring your attention, this has just been such a trouble spot in recent months. So this is outside of the Samsung Semiconductor Austin plant, and there is another crash at Samsung in Parmer. So that could get a little interesting if anyone is heading that way this morning. So heads up for you there. Of course, that is not really impacting travel on I-35, and it's not even looking that bad right now coming and going from that Round Rock area. Even Mopac is having a good start to the day. Really quiet traveling from Lewis Henna down to Loop 360. Georgetown, we had a pretty serious crash earlier this morning. All the lanes were blocked. That has since, of course, opened up. Now we just have some typical stop and go heading southbound, approaching that Round Rock area, but not too bad there. You can see, though, our biggest slowdowns are in Buda, Manor, and Round Rock as we're all heading out the door to get a head start on our workday here in Central Texas. Back to you, Rob.
Yeah, Hannah, we are a different breed in the morning show because barbecue does sound good at 7:12 a.m. People are home like, what? Yeah, believe us, it really does sound good. Well, today, of course, April 15th, tax day, the deadline to file your 2024 tax returns or request an extension. ABC's Alexis Christophorus has more on the next steps.
Didn't file your taxes yet? Don't freak out if you won't be able to file by midnight.
It's okay. Just make sure that you ask for an extension. And it's very easy to do, and you can do it electronically. Just go to irs.gov, click on the free extension filer. It's the form 4868, and fill that out, submit, and you've got an automatic 6 months.
You don't have to give a reason for why you're filing an extension, but no, if you're expecting to owe money rather than get a refund, you should pay today.
When you don't pay on time, you start to incur penalties, you start to incur interest.
The penalty for not filing is higher than the penalty for not paying. Use last year's tax filing as a guide to estimate your payment.
And if you can't pay, we'll work with you. Just go to irs.gov. We got lots of different payment programs that you can start right off the bat. You figure out what works best for you, the payment period and how much and when, and just fill that out and send it in. And in most cases, we'll accept it without any response.
If you're expecting a refund this year, use the Where's My Refund tool on irs.gov or the IRS To Go app to check the status.
If you file electronically and you request direct deposit, you're getting your refund in 21 days or less. But if you file paper and you're asking for a paper check, then you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks.
And if you realize after filing that you forgot to report income, missed a deduction, or made any type of error, you'll want to submit an amended return.
Amended returns are really easy to do. If you're filing electronically, your software should have that built in for you. If not, if you're working with a tax professional, they can also fill that out for you.
You have 3 years to file an amended return. Alexis Christophorus, ABC News, New York.
See, the IRS is not that scary. That was Luis Garcia, by the way, from the IRS we were talking to. Hey, it's hard to get around the Cedar Park, Leander area without either getting stuck in traffic or paying to take the 183 toll road, which you see right there. But, well, KVUE's Darenisha Heron shows us how that could soon change. Take a look.
If you've ever taken 183 through Cedar Park, then you know there are only 2 options. Pay for 183 toll or take a detour through the city.
I'm a season ticket holder to the Texas Stars up in Cedar Park here. So when I come over this way, really the only way to get up there is 183A unless I add 10, 15, 20 minutes to my commute.
TxDOT is looking to ease that commute with plans to build 2 free frontage roads on each side of 183A toll from Avery Ranch Boulevard to RM 1431, more commonly known as East White Boulevard. There are also plans for a shared use path on the northbound side of the roadway, connecting to the existing US 183 trailhead. It's a 3-mile project, but it could save drivers 3 times the time. Let me show you what drivers have to do to bypass the 183A toll from Avery Ranch Boulevard. We had to drive through over 10 stoplights, taking 10 minutes to reach where the frontage road starts back up at RM 1431. According to TxDOT documents, the frontage roads would reduce emissions because of less idle cars and improve safety.
Having the access to a feeder street and not having to pay the toll would be awesome.
But on the other hand,
No, I hadn't heard about it at all.
People like Roy Moya are worried. His home is already backed up against the toll's sound wall.
If they have to like tear it down or anything like that, especially since the road will be closer to us now, so it's just going to be more noise. So that's my main concern with it.
This project has been in the works since 2018. TxDOT says construction will begin in mid-2025, and they expect to give more insight this summer. In Cedar Park, Darren Shaharan, KVUE News.
And another nightmare in traffic is I-35, and here's a heads up for you who use I-35. Some road closures shut down parts of the interstates continuing through Thursday. I-35's main lanes will be reduced to one lane. The northbound Highway 183 to I-35 flyover will be closed, and the MLK Jr. Boulevard Bridge at 35 will be closed at night. Traffic will be shifted to the south side of the bridge. That's continuing through Wednesday. All right, it is a 7:17 right now, and concerns are growing over the safety of chemical hair relaxers. Research suggests heavy use might be linked to an increase of certain cancers. Consumer Reports looked into some chemical-free alternatives that might help you achieve similar results, but without the risk.
Consumer Reports writer Jadira Rodriguez has a complicated relationship with her long curly hair.
I love having my hair at this length. I love having my curly hair. It's just so much work to maintain it in a nice way.
When Rodriguez and others with curly, coily, or wavy hair want to wear it straight, it's even more work. Chemical hair relaxers have provided a quick fix for decades, but their ingredients could be potentially dangerous. If you're looking for safer alternatives, a panel of CR evaluators with different hair types tried out some other options. First up, flat irons. This GHD flat iron was the favorite among CR's evaluators. Check out this basic model from Hot Tools for a more budget-friendly option. A cousin of the flat iron, hair straightening brushes are designed to make styling hair quicker and easier. CR's face-off between models from Dry Bar and Tymo showed the Dry Bar brush was great for quickly styling straight or wavy hair, but the Tymo ring was a better option for more textured hair. This innovative Dyson Air Straight offers a convenient way to straighten your hair. The unique tool combines a flat iron and hair dryer in one, but it's got a high price tag, and CR says its size and weight could also make it a challenge to handle. And for something different, CR also took a look at the Rev Air, a reverse air hair dryer that uses powerful suction to gently dry and stretch hair simultaneously.
It didn't leave my hair as smooth as I would have liked, but it did dry my hair really, really quickly.
Caring for curly, coily, and wavy hair can be tricky, but with safer styling options, you can rock your look without the risk. Jenny Lee, KVUE News.
And you can also take a look at a Consumer Reports in-depth look at detangling brushes on our website, KVUE.com, right now. And we leave you this morning with something to talk about. You know, we all love pickleball in Central Texas, and a group of players in North Texas may have set a world record. These 4 players started playing at 6 a.m. on Saturday and played for 36 straight hours. Now, it was for charity, right? They raised more than $18,000 for a charity that supports organ donations, so it's amazing. The Guinness World Records reviewing the attempt to confirm that record, but look, still smiles after all those hours playing pickleball. My goodness, imagine like that would hurt. That's it for Daybreak Plus, though. Let us know what you'd like to talk about. Message us at a 512-459-9442. It's 512-459-9442. You have to text it. Calling it doesn't work. But you can also message me on socials at Rob Evans TV, Instagram, Facebook, or X. And stick around because Daybreak continues right here on KVUE Plus. Goodbye, everybody.